Today's commute, I kind of wanted to talk about Bill Gates' biometric blockchain technology. And so the premise is that you use somebody's biometric data. It could be just from your phone or your Fitbit, or just even from just being tracked or whatever, seeing what you're doing. And you tie those activities to spiritual or social wealth, right? So like money is a placeholder for spiritual wealth. Like if you're spiritually healthy, it means that your connection to all things is robust, and like you feel towards everyone around you the way that you would feel towards your brother or your sister or your parents or your close friend, to where no matter what's going on, you could be like, hey, can I have this favor? Can I have this thing? Can you do this? Can you do that? And because your spirituality, your relationship with those people is so strongly, you get what you want. Like you can get anything you want by knowing people, right? So just picture that last place that you really fit in, the sports team, the church, even your family, right? Like after your family comes together after a giant blow up or something like that, you're like, tremendous sense of belonging or spiritual wealth. And that's that feeling of plugged in, that connectivity. So when your spirituality fails, right? And this isn't bad, but money is the exact same thing. Money is spirituality. Money is connection, at least human connection, right? And so when you have it, that person does what you want the exact same way as if they were your best friend with the price. You can get people to act like a friend. You can get people to act like better than friends, right? So part of spiritual wealth is people doing what you want. So you have to get into groups of people where you have these immediate connections, and then the whole group is going towards the same goal. And so that makes it look like all the people around you are like hopping on that goal for you, but it's like because everybody has the same shared goal, you get the same motivational effort as if you were paying somebody to devote more and more of their will force, their attention, their power towards doing this thing. Like if something's your job, you're being paid to like make this important, right? So you want people around you doing the things that you want them to do, be that through money or be that through relationships. So that's the family, that's the tribe, that's chores, that's a world where people are like nice and kind to each other and yada yada because of the relationship, because of the spirituality. And that only comes about because of those practices of like what you see with sports teams, what you see with religious behavior, like the way that like if you look at what a church is doing, right? You look at what a liturgy is doing, and the liturgy is creating that spiritual wealth where people in the vicinity of the liturgy act the way that you would normally have to pay people to act, but they can do it for free, so they don't need the money. And so to wrap around, like you have to know what the biometric ID, you have to know what the blockchain is, right? Because blockchain is money. So you have to realize what money is. Money is technological relationship. Money facilitates friendship. Money facilitates love. Money facilitates behavior that normally requires love. So where there's a lack of love, you can add a little bit of money, and it kind of lubricates the whole situation. I mean, this it can make marriages work, right? It's where there's not love is the lubrication of relationship, and so people love relationship the most. And that's why they love money. If you do something and you're getting paid a ton of money for it, it feels important to you. You feel meaningful. You feel like you're doing You're doing something that obviously is going to get you a lot of love. You feel it the same way that you do it, doing a favor for your best friend, or doing something and getting a ton of money gives you the same rush as doing something that you and your whole community find meaningful and important. Because everybody's coordinating, they're feeding you, they're housing you, they're giving you the materials, they're giving you the supplies, and you feel that same, money is the simulation of relationship, which facilitates cooperation. Like, for people to cooperate with each other, they need to be in love. So normally, like, you have like physical practices, like movement. So if you're tying it to your biometric ID, like, let's say that you were, like, if you do the correct movements, or you breathe in the correct way, or you have the correct habits and disciplines, like, you will look attractive. And so in some sense, there's some sort of reward system going on already, to where it's like, if you get to the gym every morning, if you calm your mind, if you forgive other people, if you do these things for real, like if you're disciplined or whatever, there's a thing to where your appearance and your relatability changes, like your image changes. So there's like this reward system that people have mapped out with, like, dopamine, serotonin, like even estrogen, testosterone. Like, there's a reward system going on in the body that responds to correct being or correct relationship. So programming this to where you get people, if your actions, like how you do something, like let's say if I went around this corner at the right speed, like I held the speed limit and I did the thing, or, I go to work or I do the gym stuff, and you could say, oh, do I start getting money for doing those activities correctly? So doing the activities, the only way to do activities correctly is to fall in love with reality. You have to fall in love with breathing. You have to fall in love with the way that your, like, brain connects to the ether, and the way that the heart connects to the blood. And you have to just relax into all of that and love it. And when you do that, you get relational or spiritual wealth. With the biometric money generation, biometric blockchain, you could be doing the correct yoga, kindness, like, oh, the guardrail's broken on the highway, I'm repairing that, and it gives you money. But if you tie it into things like the things that affect your appearance over time, your behaviors, your relatability, you're doing it for the love of money, so you don't actually have to fall in love with reality. You can be doing this correct set of behaviors that, like, stimulates your body in the right way, but your body is in reality, and then the mind would be getting constantly stimulated or motivated by money rather than actual relationship. Or at least it's a danger. Like, maybe maybe, I guess it just depends on how you come at it, right? But just being rewarded by money see, the money is weird, because normally, like, your spiritual wealth is dependent on people knowing you, and that includes, like, fame. Like, fame is when people know you, like, before you know them. With money, you don't need the relationship with anybody. It makes you famous, is the other thing. Money makes you famous, because you can go and you can give that $100 to anybody, and they'll do they'll cook whatever breakfast you want for $100, right? And they'll bring it to you and make sure that you never get thirsty. And the only way that that happens, you might have a ton of spiritual wealth from all the relationships that you've had, but the way that you have those relationships is from being right there with those people. And so your wealth, the relational wealth, like the I don't know, the chieftain of a tribe is just another person to another tribe once you're far enough away. Unless that dude is super famous, and then that comes with, you know, the wealth expands outward. And so yeah, money is also simulating the relational wealth of like fame. And it can just get people to act you know, that the way that you're programming people to get money is also possibly myopic. You might be motivating that person in the wrong way, and like money could help facilitate and see the directions of the relationships that you want people to go. But if you're programming everybody to that super deep level, you have to say, oh, I'm gonna program it better than nature. Right? And the reason that nature is out of balance isn't because of a lack of programming, it's because of the interventions that have already taken place have thrown the system out of whack. So then if the behavior's not correct, like people are like, oh, human behavior's not correct, how do we motivate the people to behave correctly? Let's introduce another level of control that we call biometric money motivation. You know, because you could use this to solve the obesity crisis. People don't think they're important. People don't think that they're loved. They don't think they have any relationships. So that's why they do certain behaviors that have no value. It doesn't matter. But if you pay somebody $100 or $1,000 to walk down that sidewalk mindfully, or, you know, whatever it is, the thing that they're lacking. Let's say that you wanted to fix society, and you point out like, oh, what are you having a hard time with? Pay the person to work on that stuff. And you can do that with the biometric ID. You can pay people to work on sort of anything you want, but this is like a very deep hold over the attention, and you would have to say like, well, what kind of people should have that hold over people's attention? Should it be the inventor of that patent, like Bill Gates? Like, look at that dude's mind-body connection and what it results in. And that's from him swimming in a sea of like what he lives a life where everybody acts as if they love him more than anything on earth, right? Bill Gates can get anybody to move as if he's loved more than anything on earth, and ironically, he's secretly like despised. Without it, like there's people that tolerate him for his money, but other than that, he's hated by everybody, right? And so that guy, like imagine being that. Like, let's say that he's a great person, but like imagine what he has to deal with of like everybody hates him, other than to get his money, and those people can like tolerate him, and some people wouldn't even take the money. And like, so his products and stuff and his everything that he's doing has like ruined the entire psychic landscape. And then he's creating a product, or it has this patent that has like 666 in it or whatever, coincidentally, to modulate human behavior, biometric stuff, like the way that you're taking biometric data and you're going to alter it, because if you give somebody money, it changes their behavior. So the level to which you can collect data from is the level to which you can give money to, and thus control the same way that love controls things. And so love is that relationship thing to where you walk in the room and you're important. That's what love is. Love is you walk in the room and you're important. And then religious, there's people that generate love. Like they have the ability to make you feel important by a lot, largely that's usually being included in a group. But it's just that I got your back. Here's a favor. Yeah, let's do this. Let's coordinate. Let's plan. Let's do this stuff together. That's love. That's wealth. And when people generate that by their own actions, they actually generate that. That's spirituality. And then when people are consuming that, where it's like you give money to cause the behavior. That's kind of the parasitical thing. And you can invert that instantly just with why you're giving somebody money. You can give somebody money because you appreciate them, or you can give them money to change how they're behaving. And if you're in a loving community, you're doing things first, the money comes second. And then when people are super corrupted, I don't know, like, yeah, there's just no, I can't even imagine, man. Like, I can't even imagine. Just the way that people feel about me is difficult to go with. Like, it's crazy. All these celebrities and these rich people are, like, there's no way that they're not insane. And people need to just accept that. Like, you have to look at these people's psychic environments and what they deal with on a day-to-day basis, and how they deal with it. Like the only way that Bill Gates is correctly dealing with this environment that I'm talking about, it would be his passion. It would take somebody who is like a genius, like just passionate person to be dealing with the energies and the forces that he's dealing with. He pretends like all of that stuff just doesn't exist, and he acts like an incredibly like shallow normie person, and there's absolutely no way. There's all these super crazy rich people act in these ways that it's like it's obviously all covered. They're completely covered, and you know from their environment that they're twisted, because there's no way to live in that environment. Like, the environment of hyper wealth like that is also completely devoid of any ability to find love. You have to give your money away, or you don't know that people are loving you. You have to give your power away and see what happens. So you would have to let go of power completely. Not this bullshit to where it's like you're giving to charity and it makes you look different, and it actually makes it so that you have more power because your public image or your persona is better through the charity work. That's not what I'm talking about. It's like truly giving away the power so that you can't reward people for what they're doing. They have to do it because that is the reward for them. That's love, is that you find an environment where people are doing something for you because the action of serving you is their reward. And you're completely protected from that the instant that you have enough money to really set somebody else up. Like the instant that you have enough money to really help, to be powerful, that shields you, because that's the money is creating a vibe, an aura, or whatever that just breaks most people, because most people are so starved for love and so starved for money that the presence of it radically alters their behavior, and you can't help it, and it shuts the love down. Money shuts love down. Power shuts love down around you. If people sense that their relationship with you is gonna change something about their money, it immediately, there's no way for it to not poison the relationship, especially with money that great, like the money of a king, the money of Bill Gates. So you have people trying to decide healthcare policy, political policy, scientific policy, and they've lived their entire adult life in a bubble completely isolated from anything a human being would call love. It's a really sad situation. Like, I can't even imagine what that's like. Like, that, it's horrible. And then he's gonna die. He's gonna die and never have known anything remotely approaching the human experience. And so I think people need to have compassion for that, but also there's no way that all those people up there like that are not the most twisted, evil monsters, like warped by a complete deprivation of love caused by our technology, our group efforts. It's not their fault. All of our collective actions have put these people in these positions, be it actors or stars or anything else. Just the whole, we're doing this to people. Like, we go, oh, Bill Gates is like killing everybody with his schemes and mass murdering and all that, and it's like, look at him as a soul, and he's in something more incomprehensibly more excruciating than like just being burned alive or any horrible thing that he could do to anybody. The void that somebody like Bill Gates or these other mega celebrities lives in is so intense, and then you have to see that they're acting like it's normal, and they're on the inside like not even there, but they don't exist at all, and neither do any of the people around them, like, because the love is the existence, right? So their power shuts all the love around them, and so everything around them is fake and non-existent and meaningless, but they can't stop existing, right? So we're setting it up, and we're doing that to these people. We're doing that to the celebrities, or the way that we worship them, the same way that the big group rallies around and sacrifices the Virgin on the altar. These figures of tremendous evil that we have in the world, some of them act good, some of them act bad, but just look at the situation now. You can use money to visualize their spiritual state. Like, money is great because you can use it to visualize somebody's spiritual state. And so we're doing that to people. We're putting them into their spiritual state. The same way that you can use photons to visualize somebody's physical state, and you can use photons or light to be like, oh, that person's like being crucified, that person's on fire, that person is, you can use light to see that. You can use money to see what's happening to somebody's soul. And then yeah, it's like, that's who people are trying to put in charge, or people are letting, I don't know, maybe we think that with great suffering comes great insight, right? That could be true. Like, maybe we're causing all of these people to infinitely suffer to get something out of them, right? To get wisdom, or to get the gods to pay attention in some way. Who knows? Anyway.